Good morning, everybody. It's Monday, August 1st, 2011. And it's about 7:05 in the morning. And as I've told you many times before, this, along with late evenings, if not late evenings, early mornings, would probably be the only time I'll be able to do these kind of things. But anyway, let's talk about something. Now, yesterday, during my entry series video, you saw that the headline on it was Entry Series for July 31st, 2011, plus a shout out to Tom Blappy. Now, I want to first apologize to Tom for misspelling or missaying his name in the video. That was my fault. And I didn't know much about what he does. Basically, what I said yesterday is Tom had been known to do these to upload these Golden Books volumes from Golden Book Volume VHS shorts onto his YouTube page. And most recently, he took a break from that to do the same, but basically put together and piece together the Secret Adventures, which I'm going to talk about in a little bit. But the way Tom does this, and I'm giving credit all to him, is he kind of does a parody, as he calls it, of Monster Piece Theater from Sesame Street. Now, in case some of you don't know what Monster Piece Theater is, it's a segment that's been on Sesame Street for ages now. Now, I can't remember if Cookie Monster hosts it or not, or the Two-Headed Monster hosts it, I don't know. But it's basically, what he did was a parody of it, and there you go. They basically host little segments of animation or stuff like that, I can't really remember. So anyway, Tom decided to do what he called the Dragon Piece Theater for his Golden Book stuff, as well as for Secret Adventures. And I have to admit, he did a pretty good job, because instead of making a mistake to where he would show the animated segment and then, as it ended, probably see a little bit of live action, he worked it out to where they spun from one animated segment to the other. Now, believe me, these aren't all in one video. Believe me, no. It's like I said yesterday. If Secret Adventures was released on DVD, and believe it or not, through the educational media, one of the educational media sites out there, they are, but they're not nationwide. Like say McGee and Me is. But if they were released officially, nationwide officially DVD released, there'd be no doubt in my mind that this Secret Adventure series would probably sell pretty well. But like I said, though, if they were ever given an official release, like say an 8-disc box set or whatever, or a two volume set, for 4-disc volume set, whatever you want to call it, 2-disc volume set, I wouldn't be surprised if the animated segments were separated in their own individual disc. Now, like I said yesterday in my shout out, I'm not saying they wouldn't be kept intact with the actual episodes. They probably would be, or most definitely would be, kept intact. But just like with some DVD set releases, there's always that individual disc with bonus features, and sometimes one of the bonus features is just to watch certain segments. And I wouldn't be surprised if someday an official release is made, that happens. Excuse me. But anyway, I want to talk a little bit about Secret Adventures. Now, as you see, there were 7 volumes of Secret Adventures. I must have made a mistake yesterday by saying 8. That was my mistake. But there are 7 volumes. In fact, oh, there goes my bag of whatever. Here we go. There are 7 volumes. The first volume, of course, if I could find it, is called Spin. Now, this is the volume, animated segment-wise, where Drea and her 2 babysitting charges, the kids she babysits, which, like I said, ironically, are the children of her junior high or middle school principal, Rebecca and Matt Long, the two children, that's their names. The first one is called Spin. Now, in Spin, they become, animated segment-wise, fish, mammals, if you will. Drea becomes a dolphin with lipstick and a vest and tie. Rebecca becomes a goldfish wearing glasses. And Matt becomes a pufferfish with a hat. That's right. When they go on these secret adventures, they don't just become the fish. You know, they keep things that allow you to know that it's them. Like the clothing and all that, so whatever. Then, episode 2 is called Snap. Now, in this episode, they become dogs so they can find out what the other dog that they were babysitting or taking care of feels like. And again, just like with Spin, in the previous anime segment, they do keep the identifiable clothes or things that identify them as who they are. What cracks me up, though, is as soon as they become dogs, instead of trying to look for them, the dog instinct takes place and takes over. And Drea says something like, "Oh, look, there's something over there, let's play." You know, so then basically the dog instinct take over, temporarily. But it is fun, it's pretty cool. Now, in episode 3, I believe, I'm looking at it correctly, it's called Smash. Now, in episode 3, they become jungle animals. Drea becomes a giraffe, Rebecca becomes an elephant, and Matt becomes a little monkey. Then, and they have some very interesting, they have a very unique adventure there. Now, in episode 4, if I can find it, the animals they become are skunks. Now, basically, it's because both Rebecca and I think Matt are kind of feeling down in the mold or something like that. Feel like they're the lowest form of life on the planet. So what better way to kind of get an idea of how low you could feel than by becoming skunks for a secret adventure. Then, in episode 5, which is a Christmas-related episode, they become mice. That's right. Basically, this is little pet mouse, I guess they keep around or something like that. I don't know. So basically, to kind of see how he celebrates Christmas or something like that, they turn into mice. And what's funny about this is Rebecca, Matt's sister, doesn't like mice. And it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. You'll have to watch it. It's a good little Christmas segment that if I was you, I'd definitely be watching. Then we have, and that episode's called Snag. Alright? So those are the first 4 episodes I talked about. The first one being Spin, the second being Snap, the third being Smash, fourth being Shrug, the fifth being Snap. Now, the sixth one is called Slam. And their animated segment here is where they become penguins on the South Pole. And they have to avoid being eaten by a polar bear. Very funny and all that, and it's pretty cool. Then the last one in the series, as far as the VHSs go, and I'm pretty sure the series itself, is Split, which is basically the season, if not the series finale. Basically, Drea and her family look like they're going to be moving away, and so they have possibly one last secret adventure to see what it's like to move on. And what happens is they don't become any mammals or animal or anything like that. They become bugs. In other words, they become caterpillars. Now, you might say to yourself, Well, what does caterpillars got to do with the Split episode? What does it have to do with that? Well, like I said, Drea's family in this are planning to move away. So so here's the thing: what do caterpillars do during the winter, during the fall into the from the fall to the spring? What do they do in between that time? Exactly, they make cocoons. They hibernate, just like bears and skunks and all that. And that's exactly what they do to avoid being chased and eaten by two birds. They end up forming cocoons on a tree. And what's funny about her secret adventures, what's unique about it, is it's almost like a different time and space. Because you would think, okay, they're on a secret adventure and all that, so what's the deal? Right? And, how long does a secret adventure last? Well, like I said, it's a secret adventure, so like it's in another world, it's another place, another time, or whatever you want to call it. And basically what they do is they stay in these cocoons that they have to form for months through the fall and winter season up to spring, when they finally come out and they are butterflies. Now, we don't see them hatching out of the cocoons as butterflies, we just see them as butterflies. Now, again, you might say, well, wait a minute. Secret adventures and the hibernating, doesn't people wonder where they are? Well, again, like I said, different time, different place. Get the idea? And what's unique about this, too, is Drea, for some of the episodes when she goes on these secret adventures with the kids, let me see if I look at this one right. 1, 2, 3. For about 3 episodes, Drea, when she becomes an animal, when she becomes a dolphin, a penguin, and a giraffe, believe it or not, she actually has lipstick on her lips. All the other ones, she doesn't. Now, one thing that a lot of people have been always questioning me about when I've done my videos on them, everybody's been asking, is this truly a Christian series? What's so Christian about it? Well, it is a Christian series. It is. Google it online, and there's something called the top 10 Christian videos out there, or Christian vids, or Christian series out there for kids, and Secret Adventures comes right up at number 5. It is indeed a Christian series because, one, it does talk about God in a few segments. Doesn't overdo it, but it talks about God, and also mixes in a lot of life lessons that that Drea and the young Chargers have to learn throughout the episodes. And again, it's a very, very unique series. I mean, I'll be honest with you. I first found out about this series back when I was living in Kansas, about a year or so before I came back here to California. I was living in my apartment, and across the street from me was a little plaza, kind of side by side store plaza. One store is on right here, and then right next to it was another store. You get the idea. A little mini mall or something like that. It's just like a little plaza. And basically, across the street in this plaza, next to a Quiznos, was a place called Game Exchange. And I went in there, and I noticed that they didn't just sell video games. They sold VHSs as well. Now, I did buy a couple of VHSs from them. One of them being, of course, Shrug from the Secret Adventures. Now, I didn't buy now, I bought the tape. I did. There's no doubt about it. I bought the tape. That was unique. I bought the tape, as well as with the cover on it. But here was what was unique, folks. Here was what was unique. When I got the rest of the series, and I got the rest of the series through mail, and I basically had to tell the person, hey, I have Shrug. Is it okay if I get all these other episodes? And they said it was fine. I had Shrug, and that's how I got introduced to it, because one thing I noticed was there was an artist on there, and this tells you it's a Christian-related show. When it showed that in episode 4, I believe, you have none other than Michael W. Smith guest starring. One of the most one of the most influential and most popular Christian artists out there. And here he was doing Secret Adventures. And he ended the episode by singing a song called In the Father's Eyes. Now, if that doesn't tell you Christian relation, I don't know what does. And then when you take a look at the Christmas one called Snag, as animated mice, they join up with, I guess, the mouse friend and his family, and they pray around the table. You get what I'm saying? So, basically, there are talk of Christian. It is definitely Christian related, especially at the end between Drea and her grandpa, because sometimes her grandpa will tell her Christian related quotes or kind of give her examples from like the Bible and stuff like that. He won't pull out the Bible, he'll just give her examples. But what I'm saying, folks, is for those that have been questioning it, it is indeed a Christian series. And again, if you don't believe me, Google it, and you'll see exactly what I mean. Because you got to remember, at the time, Family Channel was still very independent. It wasn't associated with Fox. It wasn't associated with ABC. It was still very independent. It was still doing things with CBN, still does to this day. It was doing things with some other family-related organizations and Christian organizations. So it really wasn't all ABC-related or Fox-related before that. So that is why, Secret Adventures was on at that time. Now, I don't know if there was any more episodes planned. Probably not. Probably so. I don't really know. According to some of the websites, this wasn't intended to be a video series. But here's the thing. It wasn't just a video series, because when I looked online, it said it was on Family Channel for a while, and it was. I don't know if it was just like an 8-week deal during the summer or the fall. I don't know. All I know is it's a very good series. I mean, my mom actually sat down one time and watched one of the episodes because she was wondering what it was about. Because you see, my mom's a preschool teacher, and she's always looking for additional material to share with the kids. So, what better material than having something like Secret Adventures? So that is why, to me, Secret Adventures is good, because even she got a kick out of it. And the one she saw, of course, like I mentioned, had Michael W. Smith in it, and she liked it. But again, like I said, for those that doubt the fact that it is indeed a Christian-related series, it is. It is no doubt a Christian-related series. And you can ask anybody here on YouTube. You can ask Tom Blapper himself. You can ask Tom himself. He'll probably confirm it. But it is true. It is true that this indeed, Secret Adventures, is a Christian-related series. Yeah, you may say to yourself, well, some of the stories don't seem Christian-related. Believe me, they are. Because if you watch the whole episode and watch to the end between the interaction between Drea and her grandpa, and then you look at the subtle hints, like saying the Christmas episode entitled Snag, and as well as you watch Shrug, you kind of get the idea like, oh, it is indeed a Christian-related show. Because think about it, they also had guest stars on there that obviously have Christian faith. They had AC Green from the New York Knicks. They had the son, the nerdy son from Step by Step with the glasses. You know, all there. All there. And I'm telling you, folks, it's something you got to just sit down and you got to watch. Now, if you want to start out, again, check out my entry series video. I put a description in there with Tom's YouTube page on there. A link to Tom's YouTube page in there. Click on that. Scroll down on that channel and you will find Secret Adventures. Watch the animated segments. You'll get a kick out of them. Because believe me, I'm not the only one that remembers this. There's a lot of people that remember it. But the one thing that everybody's always had a problem believing is whether or not it was a Christian series. Yes, it was Christian related. Very Christian related, believe me. It may have not shown it at times like people would think a Christian show or Christian related show would do, but it has. And you know what's unique about this? When I was living in Kansas, one of the ladies that I worked with from Burt Nash in Lawrence, Kansas, one of the ladies I worked with, or that worked with me, sort of like on a financial and therapeutic kind of situation, she was a Christian lady too. And she told me, like I said, she was very Christian related, very Christianized woman. I could see that. And she told me she had heard of Secret Adventures. In fact, she even said she had, at one time, the whole set. Well, something like that. I'm not really sure if she said that, but she had seen it and she had heard it, and I think she even had it at one time. So God gave me somebody I could relate to there, and I understood where I was coming from. But anyway, like I was saying, Secret Adventures, no doubt, is a series you have to watch to see. And like I said, if you want a starting point, the starting point is to go to Tom's channel and you will see exactly what I'm talking about. You'll see exactly what I'm talking about. And in closing, I will say this to Tom. If he wants to, it's totally up to him. He wants to. He should slowly, one by one, put each and every one of those episodes of Secret Adventures online or on his YT page, because if he does that, people will get a better idea of what we're talking about. And if he wants to send me some digital DVD copies, if he has access to them, then I'd be glad to have some. I mean, I only have the VHSs, but I can't put them on DVD because due to the copyright protection, thanks to my Sony DVD player. It was even copyright protected when I had my ILO recorder. So if Tom wants to do that, that'd be great. If not, that's fine too. I've already, as I said in my entry video, I've already VCD'd them, the animated segments, to where I can eventually just put them on DVD if I feel like it. But I would like to eventually try to get Secret Adventures on DVD to where I can actually share them with the kids in my family, because I think my nephews would definitely get a kick out of them. So, but again, in closing, let me say this. Secret Adventures is definitely a show you have to watch. The animated segments are a great starting point. Go to Tom's page. Again, go to my entry series video, or I'll put the link in the description box here. Go there, and I guarantee you, folks, you'll like what you see. You'll like what you see. And again, the animated segments are a good starting point, but if you really want to know more about it, you want to watch more episodes, definitely encourage Tom. I'm encouraging him to try to put the episodes online on the YT for people to enjoy. So that's all I'm going to say on it. I know this went a little long. I apologize, but I just wanted to talk about how good of a series this is and how you must check this series out. It's that good. Believe me, I know. I've watched most of the episodes. It is very, very good. So until then, until next time, have a good day, and I'll talk to you later.